And it doesn't include
the talent.
Yes, and it doesn't include.
See how-
See,
Right?
You're getting ganged up on here.
I get it.
She knows. She knows. Are we going?
We're good.
Awesome. Welcome back to the Progress Lab. Welcome, Sarah Fry. We are so excited to have you. So thank you so much for coming down.
Thank you for having me.
To introduce you, you are a seasoned professional in the fitness industry, Pilates instructor, and it says freak on your jumper. And I think after reading about you, I would agree with that. But instead, I think we'll call you a doer of hard things.
Yeah.
World record holder for a 24-hour continuous ski erg.
Yes.
Gross.
Yeah, super gross.
My bestie. Yeah.
454
Yep.
kilometre run in 6 days.
Yep.
Ew.
Great.
But I mean, let's circle back. Like those two things are insane for a start. Congratulations. That's crazy. But you didn't just kind of wake up one day and be like, I want to just thrash my body.
No.
What led to you wanting to do something that insane?
Yeah, so I guess from very early age, I saw both my mum and dad quite physically active. Like I remember when I was in school, Dad would get up and go to the gym. And from about the age of honestly 12, 13, I was like, I want to do that too. And Dad was like, I'm never going to wake you up. I'm never going to knock on your door. But if you're downstairs at the time I need to go before you go to school, you can come with me. So from a very young age, I was doing hard things and kind of got this like sick addiction to it. Like I love like the challenge of doing something that other people weren't doing. Like I would go to the gym and like I wanted to do 10 push-ups on my toes well before it became like every female must do 10 push-ups. Like I wasn't doing the trends. I was a kid in a big gym of adults and I was just doing my own thing. And then I fell into running and I just fell into, again, like, could I go a bit further? Could I challenge myself? Dad had run a few marathons. I was like, that sounds cool. Did my first marathon on my 21st birthday in New York, which was
Oh my
fun.
God.
Yes. So
Girl, I was like passed out in a field dying from vodka on my 21st
I just didn't
birthday.
take that path. Like
Yeah.
I loved exercise. I loved fitness. I just always wanted to do it. And then when my mum got sick, so she got diagnosed with multiple system atrophy, which is a rare form of Parkinson's, is the easiest way to describe it. She became unwell and I decided I was on a mission to make as much noise as possible and I was going to do that through physical efforts, which is kind of what led us eventually to the Ski Erg. I'd run for years. I'd done a lot of marathons and that sort of a thing. And I'd caused myself a few injuries doing that along the way. So the first big goal was let me do something crazy, but not involving my feet in case I did break them again.
Well, hang on.
Yeah.
Broke your feet?
Yes.
Doing a marathon?
Yeah.
See, this is why people shouldn't do marathons.
Yeah, running's
I've always said it.
You just shouldn't run through as much pain as I did.
Yes.
I just ran and ran and ran. Like mentally, my heart has always just been so, I just have a sick addiction to it. And I know this.
Yeah.
And I just, ran myself to a few broken bones.
And is that like stress fractures?
Yeah. I got stress fractures. I had cracks in my heel, plantar fascia in both feet, moon boots, crutches, everything. And then, told I could never run again. And here we are.
Yeah. That is amazing. Do you believe that you've got a higher pain tolerance than other people or is it deeper than that?
I think, yes, I do think my pain tolerance is higher, but at the same time, I also think like mentally I have trained myself to go beyond in some things.
Yeah.
And especially when it comes to physical effort, I will push my mind well beyond what is physically supposed to be capable or like what your body should be able to do to achieve what I want to achieve.
Do you think that people, because it makes me think of, I actually got goosebumps talking, I just love that shit, but it makes me think of like David Goggins, like people along that vibe. Do you think, because you're one of them, do you think people are just born with that kind of, I guess, almost craving for pushing the boundaries, or is it something that is triggered in childhood, or you were saying you kind of always had it?
I think a bit of both. I definitely think like from a child, like I have always craved it more than anyone I was like at school with or like
At 13 for sure.
yeah, like at 13, like no kids waking up and going to the gym at 5:30 in the morning. Like that's just, it wasn't
adults gotta do
normal. Like it was not normal. As well, the environment that I was in, like having both of my parents be so fit and active and encouraging me and what I was doing to an extent, but also kind of, you know, Dad wouldn't knock on my door. Like
He's not dragging you.
He's not dragging me. Like if you want to come, like you have to make the effort. So I learnt that like self-discipline, I guess, from a really young age. And then it just got more and more. And I guess as well, like just the habit of it, I think is something that I've
It's a part of you now, right?
Yeah, it's part of me.
I really want to circle back to that whole topic. But first I want to, if it's okay, talk about your beautiful mum.
Yes.
So what sort of, so she's no longer with us.
Yeah.
What, goosebumps again, what kind of person was she?
Okay, I'm going to try and get through this without getting upset.
You can.
So my mum definitely was just the definition of go out and make the most of life. Like from all the stories that I heard, both from her mum and just friends and everyone around it, she was very much the kid just going out, getting things done, outside, sports, anything she could. She was traveling the world and on as many adventures as possible from a young age. And then when we came along, it was the same thing. And I always described that we lived life in the fast lane. Like every school holidays, we were going somewhere outside, doing something, adventuring. She was always like, yes, 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 like just do as many activities as you want, all that sort of thing. But on the flip side of that, she also was like our biggest supporter and our biggest cheerleader. She very much, encouraged us, supported us, and just cared a lot for everyone around her.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you went through a journey with her illness.
Yeah.
Do you mind talking a little bit about that? Like what were the sort of the first signs? Because I've never heard of that particular condition. I feel like everybody has heard of MND now. That's kind of come into the...
That's become more. And I guess people probably have heard of Parkinson's. That's becoming a bit more popular as well. So essentially what happened is in 2019, we went to London as a family and Mum just couldn't keep up. Like we were walking around the streets of London and just adventuring around and she just would get really tired or like she used to say like her legs would like give out and like Mum was fit and healthy. It was like, come on, like what are you doing? Like you can do this. We got back from that and she started going through some testing and the only way they can really determine if you have Parkinson's is they do a series of tests but basically they give you the drug that will help treat it. It's incurable, but at least prevent the symptoms and then you see if it works. So we did that for a few months and then her symptoms just weren't really getting better. She was just unable to stand for long periods of time. She'd fall over. Things were getting hard for her, like, eating and like just using her arms and legs and stuff. And then they did a brain MRI and that confirmed that it was multiple system atrophy, which attacks more of the automatic and that side of things. So right down the other end of the line, it starts to attack like your ability to breathe, to swallow and things like that. But take it back a few steps. It's like balance, coordination, all that sort of thing. So that was sort of 2020, which obviously was COVID as well. So we were all fortunately at home together, which was beautiful and like we really cherished the time that we all spent together. But yeah, she battled and fought for almost 5 years and was incredible for probably the first 3 years, like still working, still walking around, driving for a fair while, and then the last sort of 2 years is when things really started to decline. It got to a point where we had nurses and carers and she couldn't sit or stand on her own and then she couldn't swallow, so she would eat like really mushy foods and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Wow. Is that rare? Is it a rare condition?
Yeah, so I don't know the exact stats, but it's one in like very, very few. So she about 18 months ago went down the line of being a part of a clinical trial because she, as well as all of us, like the whole family, like if we can change the future like if we can change future families' lives, that's our biggest mission. So she wanted to do this clinical trial, which it's an incurable disease at the moment and it's also untreatable at the moment. But this was hopefully to find some sort of drug that would prevent things slowing down as rapidly as they do. So the life expectancy is 5 years for this, and most people aren't even diagnosed until they're probably 2 or 3 years in, which is sort of what happened to her. So she was on board that, and then unfortunately we had to pull her off that towards the end. But
I'm so sorry. She sounds incredible. And it sounds like she had a massive impact on the person that you are, and all the things that you're doing. And it's amazing. So, may her memory live on and good on you.
Her legacy lives on for sure.
Yes.
Make the most, as we always say.
Yes. So what were the sort of parallels going on when she was sick? Were you finding that within you this kind of want to do hard things and push the boundaries, was that kind of increasing as she got sicker?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think I've always said we sort of all retreated to our own coping mechanisms, and exercise has always, for anything that's occurred in my life, been my coping mechanism. Yeah. Probably more so running than anything else. It is like we're in a long-term relationship for life, as I say. Definitely like as she got sicker, I think that I found exercise and creating noise in the exercise that I was doing was then in line with, I worked very closely with MSA Australia, the charity, and got to know them extremely well, and just wanted to be able to help and provide support to anyone. Because when Mum was first diagnosed, like we had no one to turn to. We didn't know who to talk to. There was like no real like support groups, nothing, because it's so rare, obviously.
Yeah. And the system's very hard to navigate too.
The system's very hard to navigate. The whole like disability system is very hard to navigate.
Yes.
Funding around all of that is very hard to navigate. Like all of this, which you don't expect to go through, but also in going through it, I've learned that so many people go through this.
Yes.
And it is so hard to navigate and you don't know where to turn or who to talk to. Especially when it came to MSA, just making as much noise as I possibly could was, obviously what I did. And that was just through exercise.
Yeah.
And I don't really plan these crazy things. I sort of just like come up with them and then I just say it out loud to about 5 people and then
it's out there and then you
for 24-hour ski, I think I decided about 6 weeks before I actually did it.
Wow.
It was going to happen.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. And were you much of a Ski Erg person? Did you like CrossFit? Because I've never heard of anyone doing it outside of the CrossFit space, really.
No. So I had been on it a little bit in the gyms like everyone kind of had. And then in 2020, like 2 weeks before we all got locked down, I actually was a part of a 24-hour charity event, but that was a team thing. So there was 4 of us in a team and we teamed. And I think that we had probably 6 or 8 teams in the gym. And I did it and I just loved it. I was like, this is sick. Doing extreme things like this is like giving me life. So then when time went on and Mum obviously got sick and I wanted to do something. I wanted to do something where I was stationary. People could come.
Yeah,
Mum
come and
would
go.
come.
Yeah.
I was able to include a community involved. We were able to do all of that. But also for 24-hour ski, my biggest thing was that this disease affects you 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
It was a time thing. I wanted to be able to use as much time in the day as I had to also show that this is a 24-hour thing. This is not something that we switch off from when we go home.
Yes.
It's not something Mum just forgets about when she goes to sleep, all of that. So that was kind of my reasoning behind the 24-hour.
And so just to clarify, she was still around physically here at that stage?
Physically, yeah.
Okay.
So, Mum was here. That was Mother's Day, 2024. Like that. So, yes, she was around. She would come about 2 weeks before her and I looked up what the world record was, even just like out of curiosity. Yeah. And she, being the numbers girl she was, made me a spreadsheet of like how many meters per hour I needed to do. And I was like, I actually think I could do this. So because I wanted to then achieve it, we had to have someone the whole time mark it off. Mm-hmm. So my mum, my dad, my brother, a couple of very close friends took turns throughout the day and night and then, had to mark it off. So she was very much around.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Amazing. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What sort of stuff was she saying to you when it started to get hard?
She would always tell me to just have fun and make the most. She calls me her little Sare Bear. So she would just say, like, Sare Bear, like, you can do it. Like, she was the one that instilled the confidence in me that I could achieve these things.
Yeah.
And I think as much as I have craved doing hard things, I've always had her support, but also, like, they're giving me that confidence and, like, instilling that I was able to achieve these hard things along the way.
Oh, that's really special, mate.
Yeah.
Seriously. Excuse me. So let's talk through the whole ordeal. Okay. Hour 1, you're probably like, whatever.
So fine.
It's fine.
It's so fine.
Is it boring?
You love that stuff, don't you?
I love it. I mean,
what do you think about?
Well,
are you just trying to be present, or are you sort of going like,
no,
1 + 1 = 2?
No, so I think, and I find this really hard to even put into words or describe, but when I do these big crazy things, even in the lead up to them and training for them, your mind goes into some like other space.
Locked in.
And it's like when I started 24-hour ski, there was just nothing that thought I couldn't do it. Like no part of me.
Yeah.
And the longest leading into it that I'd done in one go was 6 hours. So I always do this before I do a big thing. I try and do something crazy before it that to me feels hard. So one day, didn't tell anyone, just didn't sleep, went to the gym at midnight and did 6 hours straight. Because to me, that was the bit that was going to be hard.
Overnight for sure.
The overnight bit. When no one's around, everyone's asleep.
Sleeping.
There's no one to talk to. You can't check in. You can't call. You can't. What are you going to do?
And is that to prove to yourself?
And it's to prove to myself. So then I did that, and that was maybe like 2 weeks before. And I was like, okay, well, this just can't be hard. So then when 24 hours started, I was like, oh, we're on here. And there's also the part of me, like I grew up as a dancer. I did sport aerobics, which is like gymnastics. I'm a little kid that just likes being on stage. Like, don't put me in this. This is scary.
Yeah.
Racking.
Yeah.
But like
Let me move.
in a sporting sense, let me move.
Yep.
It's showtime.
Yeah.
So when I started 24-hour ski, it was showtime.
Yeah.
And I had everything mapped out. Every 6 hours, I was going to change outfits. I was going to like reset, restart. And honestly, like the hours just flew by. I had such a method in what I was doing in terms of how many meters I needed to achieve every hour, what I was going to eat, which I obviously just make this up. Like, no. I just do this myself. Like,
really?
who are you going to turn to and be like, hey, like, what do you do for 24 hours on the ski erg? Like,
not ChatGPT at least.
No, it wasn't around.
Damn.
I couldn't use chat.
Yeah.
So I just make this up and just hope for the best.
And were you trying to do the same pace each hour, or were you accounting for like, we might come out a little bit hot, then we might have a little, you were just like, this is the average?
I just was like, this was the average. Like I knew in training that I had gone above the pace I needed to for the world record because that's just what I'd been doing. But also I was only training for like 3-4 hours at a time. It's very different to 24.
Yep.
So I knew the pace I needed to hit. And I just locked in and did it every hour. I knew what I needed to achieve. And
how much did you beat it by?
So I broke the record at 18.5 hours.
Wow.
What?
You crushed it.
I crushed it.
That's
wow.
crazy.
So 5 hours later, you
in
come
the
back
morning.
and you're like, oh, you're just crossing the finish line now.
And then you've got to do more though. Then you're like,
you can't. So the thing about the ski erg is, you got to finish 24 hours, but you can't let the thing stop. This is the whole thing.
Yes, because it switches off.
It switches off.
Yeah.
So you have 45 seconds.
If you need to stop.
Yeah, if you need to
Toilet break.
Go toilet break, go pee. Like food, forget it. Like you just put them in one hand and eat in the other hand.
Yeah.
So does it work if you do one at a time?
No, you put two handles in
Oh,
one
so
hand.
you get them just slow. Yes.
Just slow.
and if someone else keeps it moving for you, that's out.
That's out.
Not,
That's out. So someone can like press the screen and like change the display.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing that keeps the screen on, but you can only do that for 45 seconds. So it's a very quick pee break when
I was going to say, yeah.
Weren't you nervous that the machine might break?
Yeah, I was, but like I just can't control that. So
True.
I don't think about things like that. Like
True.
what's in my control, what can I do? And focus on that.
Yeah.
So I broke it 18 and a half
Flogged 'em.
hours, which was awesome. And FaceTimed mum, and we did that over FaceTime. My brother was with me and my best friend who had been out, and I was like, you know, I'm about to break this record. Like, leave the club.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm coming. So she did. Then
amazing.
went home for 3 hours and then came back. I was like, you have to be at the finish line. Like, go
Yeah.
So, there was a lot of that. Had some interesting visits through the night. But
Just from randoms walking in?
there was a few randoms that walked in.
Because where was the place?
So I
Is it
did
Chapel Street?
No, it's
Yeah.
close by.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did it in Turak at
Yeah.
Aura Studios, I
Okay.
did it there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so anyone could just walk in and
Well, anyone could walk in, but like my brother was like making sure it wasn't
Yeah.
random.
yeah.
But I had so many people come support all of that. A lot of people came and offered to do it, and I was like, no, like
not how
you
this
can't
works.
do
Yeah.
this. But I'm
Some random-
good in those settings, like talking to people and communicating and stuff like that. More than happy to do all of that. But I was so in my little world that like I'm like it's just my brain just goes somewhere else when I do
Like
these
full
crazy-
meditation.
It's like full meditation.
Yeah.
for
That's
me.
incredible.
And like my body, when I did 24-hour ski, my body definitely wasn't breaking down in terms of like when you run a long distance, you can feel your body breaking down, or like
The
even when
impact
you
is a
train
lot,
really
right?
hard in the gym and like you can feel like I can't lift this heavy bar another time. Same sort of thing.
Yeah.
That didn't really happen in 24-hour ski, which I think kind of was because my heart rate sat pretty moderate,
Controlled,
pretty
yeah.
controlled. I mean, it's not a very hard thing to do constantly.
And there's not really that impact like there is with running,
it's a
right?
very like low impact movement.
Yeah.
But I could definitely feel like my body was starting to hurt and fatigue. But that's when it like kicks in and I'm like, bring it. Like it's this
Now it
game
starts.
between like my body and my like mind of like who's going to win here. And like the mind wins every time.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Do you get so? I've actually done a couple of half marathons myself.
Oh, good on you.
Not to brag, but but every time, right? I've been like pretty good.
Yeah.
Until that very moment when my mind entertains the thought of stopping or like projects forward to like it'll be nice when I can stop.
Yeah.
And I feel like as soon as that thought, even if I'm not thinking about stopping myself, just like, oh, how good's it going to be when I can stop doing this?
Yeah.
The minute my mind goes there, everything becomes 10 times harder because it feels like, oh, like now I actually fucking want to stop.
Yeah.
Do you get that?
Yes. But I also think like everyone gets that irrelevant of what it is. So like in terms of running, I reckon it always happens at like the 17, 18K mark of a half, right? You're like, oh, I've only got 3Ks to go. And it's like, but then you're done. Like don't even think about the only got to do this.
Yeah.
Just think about like in 3Ks, this is over.
Yes.
Same as in a half, everyone talks about this wall that happens at 34, 36, which I agree with, like 100%. I've hit it many times. But same thing. Like it's not like you just can't entertain the thought.
Yeah.
And rather,
I even get that when I'm at like if I'm at a party and my brain goes, it'd be nice to go home soon.
Yeah, like
I can't stay another second.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
out.
Mm.
you're like, I'm getting
Checked out.
tired. It's like now I'm like, you told yourself that story.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing, like more than anything with 24-hour ski, like from the minute I started, the story was I'm going to hit this world record and I'm going to ski for 24 hours. And I just didn't entertain any other thought.
Yeah.
And like, even when people would come in and say like, you've got 4 hours to go or you've got 6 hours to go or whatever, even when it was more than that, even when it was like
You're barely
18
halfway.
hours to go, like whatever, it was just like, I'm going to hit this record and I'm going to ski for 24 hours. So there was no time for the thought of like, I'm going to stop now because I'm stopping at 24 hours. Whereas then
Boundary was in place
That
and it was just never a discussion elsewhere.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Amazing. I wonder if that's the secret to doing it. But you can say that to yourself, right? But then I wonder if you hadn't had all of those years of practice
For sure.
doing those hard things, like can you actually do it if you don't bank
and
those
this is
reps?
like, this is my biggest thing. Like I wish I could somehow
You bottle
harness
it.
this
Yeah.
and like not even like I want to teach it. Like I wish.
Yeah.
I wish.
Yeah.
I think you can. Like I say it all the time. Like the more hard things you do, what was once hard becomes less hard. Like
It's trainable.
It's trainable.
Yeah.
Like your capacity to cope with hard is trainable. But most people just don't push it hard enough.
Yeah, I always think about when I used to be a PT and you'd be training clients that have never trained before.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, all right, you know, we're doing this set of like 8 to 12 on like the leg press or whatever. And
Yeah.
you'd get to like rep 4 and they'd just stop. And it's not heavy, but they would just stop and you go like,
What are you doing?
and they'd be like, oh, it hurts. And it's this sort of,
Yeah.
it doesn't hurt, but it's just sort of
Uncomfortable.
like
Uncomfortable,
It's
yeah.
uncomfortable, and there's a spectrum of like pain being here, slight discomfort being here,
Yeah.
and us in the training world, we kind of live in this whole sort of part, but people
Yeah.
that are outside of that
fear.
don't really sit with discomfort,
No. Yeah.
physical at least.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was my other question to you. What kind of knock-on effects does doing all these hard things and the things that you've done have in other areas of your life, like business, like mental health? Like, do
Yeah.
you find that kind of pattern, you're able to harness that outside of the gym?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's absolutely no surprise that doing the hard things I did in the gym, especially in terms of like the fundraising side of things, was obviously a coping mechanism for what Mum
Yes.
was going through.
Yes.
And I'm so grateful that I have chosen a coping mechanism that is so positive in terms of moving my body and things like that. Because I say many times that it could have gone many other ways and I could have got very addicted to very
Different substances.
different substances,
Yeah.
more harmful things.
Yeah.
And I'm very grateful for that. But I also think exactly right, like the flow-on effect it has into every area of my life. It's like, yeah, but it's not as hard as, or like
You've got an anchor.
there's an anchor. And yeah, I keep seem to increasing that anchor.
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
more crazy
Yeah.
things.
Well, it's all narratives, right? Like the
Yeah.
story that you tell yourself is
It's
that
the
you are
story that you tell.
capable of doing hard
I could do
things.
this.
Yeah.
And the reason why you can believe that story is because you've banked the evidence your whole life
Yeah.
to prove that that is true.
And I say, like, you know, you make a promise to yourself and then you actually keep it or you achieve it, whatever it is, then the more and more times you do that, and it can be in the gym, outside of the gym, doesn't matter, then you're more likely to start believing what you say you're going to achieve. Like, it's as simple as like making my bed first thing in the morning. Like, I cannot possibly remember a day when I haven't done that from like the earliest of earliest childhoods. But I decided one day that it was a promise I was going to make to myself. And then you just do it and then you just keep doing it. And then it just becomes so much easier. And then you can kind of harness that into these harder things.
You're so right. And if you sort of project that forward into even you imagine yourself as your own friend,
Yeah.
it's like, does this person in my friendship group or whatever, do they do what they say they're going to do? They always do. So it banks trust. And it's
Yeah.
kind of the same relationship with yourself. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, you want to do this. I trust that you'll do it.
I trust that you'll do it. Like, I trust that you do it. I trust you'll show up. I trust that you'll then be able to achieve. I trust you've got the confidence to do it. Like, in all of those things.
Yeah, if you can't keep your own promises to yourself, how can others keep it for you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anything about your, I won't say addiction, but
It's an addiction.
you use that word.
Yeah.
I'm a freak.
Yeah.
And I am,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I know this.
Does it worry you that something might occur that doesn't allow you, like an injury, something like that? You've been through some injuries, but that something might occur that disrupts that coping mechanism for you, and then you'll find yourself being like,
What can I do?
what do I do?
Yeah. Well, the last 6 months, I feel like I haven't been able to use exercise in the same way. So since Mum's passing, I have tried to run. I've tried to move in the gym. I've tried many things and it just isn't the same.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't, I move, I still do all the things and I know I can achieve them. Like,
Different fire.
It's just, it's different. And yeah, it's been a real challenge for me to find, like, I always feel joy when I move. I enjoy moving. I enjoy doing lots of different things. Someone asked me to run a half marathon, I'll do it. Like, asked me to run a full, I'll do it. Like, I have no fear in that I can't do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not the same.
That is interesting.
It is.
Do
Has that
you
been
think?
since the long one? since you're...
Yeah, I think it's two things. So when I did the long one last year, I set out to achieve 600 kilometers in 6 days and my body did not let me.
And just to clarify, this is a run and this was done after your mum's passing.
No, so mum was still around for 600.
Okay.
So last September, in the lead up to what would have been her 59th, well, it was her 59th birthday, which we celebrated as 60 minus one, I came up with the great idea of running 600 kilometres in 6 days. Again, I did this 10 weeks before.
Yes.
No, probably a bit more. I think I gave myself about 4 months for this one. Had never run over 42 Ks. Had no, I don't have a running coach. I am myself. I just come up with these crazy ideas. And did and trained and prepped and everything was looking pretty good and started fine, ran 100 Ks around an ath track on day one. Was a great time.
Wow.
Loved it. That's the sick obsession, just ran around in circles. Loved it. And then day 2 and day 3, I ran from home to Portsea and then back the next day. And day 3 is when my body started breaking down. Mentally, I was zoned in, switched on. Let me go. I was getting upset because my body was not letting me. And this was not I know when it's bad pain.
Yes.
I know when
if you're saying it's painful, it's probably really painful.
Tissue breaking down.
Yeah, I was something's not right here.
Yeah.
And did cause myself quite some injuries. Actually ran myself into the emergency department on day 4 and I was like, I need this scanned. Scan me and tell me I'm okay. They were like, you need to stop running. You're going to cause injury. Ended up FaceTiming my physio who was in Dubai at the time, 2 a.m. here. I'm out just on beach road, walking in moon boots because I was nothing will,
stop
I won't stop. And he's like, look, worst case scenario, it's this. Yeah. If it is, then you can't push it. If it's not that and you haven't got these symptoms yet, I'm not going to tell you to keep going, but as my friend and not my client, off you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, and so that was a big pill to swallow, not then getting 600. So I ended up doing 454 Ks in 6 days.
What caused you to stop?
So you finished
what
6
was that
days?
moment like when you stopped?
The moment itself when I stopped was great and exciting, and I ended up running without moon boots for the last 5 Ks, and it was a big moment. We took mum, we all went around the tent together.
Oh.
It was amazing, and her and I had a chat earlier that day, and she was just such a numbers girly. Everything was based around the numbers. It's obviously where I get it from as well. And she had come up with this number that was Dad's birthday, my brother's birthday, all our magic numbers. Anyway, and that was 448. So I went beyond that. And so I was over the moon and excited and all of that. But I think then the months past that, I was I failed. I didn't get 600.
Yeah.
And I didn't fail.
No.
What I actually set out to achieve was raise an incredible amount of money and make noise. And I did that.
And how much did you raise?
Nearly $76,000.
Wow. That's just for the run or both the ski?
That was just for the run.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That all went to the...
It all went to the charity,
Wow.
So, which is so important for them to be able to make more noise and create that community. Because at the end of the day, it's still so rare. The community around multiple system atrophy is so small that any amount of money that can then be done to go into research projects, but more so to make noise.
Yeah.
And I really want to talk about this for a little while, this perceived failure. So this little voice, because of course rationally you're of course I did great. I raised the money. You're not an idiot, rationally.
Correct.
However, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's still the little voice that crept in because it wasn't exactly what you set out to do. Do you feel that was connected with losing a feeling of control around your mum's condition?
Potentially. I think it was just the start of then what was a few months of I can't control this. I can't control the fact my body's breaking down. I can't control the fact I'm about to lose my mum. I can't control the fact that my whole life is about to change. And for the first time probably ever, I really I couldn't stop it. I couldn't control it. I couldn't fix it. I couldn't I had to sit with it and sit through it.
That's
and
a massively vulnerable position
massive.
to be in.
Yeah. And it's been massively vulnerable, the last 6-8 months going through that. And as well, the unfortunate, I say, thing is that when you do these big crazy things, like that's like where my adrenaline sits now. Like my adrenaline sits at running like hundreds of kilometers a day, multiple days in a row. Like I don't get this same adrenaline running 10Ks like I used to.
Yeah.
So, and the come down from doing these things is wild. Yeah. And then go into the hardest few months of my life so far. And then now to sit here, it's like,
Yeah.
now what?
It's very, very hard to sit in the discomfort of everyday life.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And this is something like, I mean, 24 hours was 24 hours, right? Like it's not as long of a period. But when I did the big run, like I was not normal for a full week. Like didn't know what time of day it was. I'm living in my little bubble. Like I've just being fed information from like those super close to me. I'm not listening to multiple voices, all of that. And then the come down from that is like, what do you mean? Like back to normal life.
Yeah.
Someone's asking you what coffee you want. It's like
You're walking down the street like looking like a cripple and people are staring at you. I'm like, do you have any idea what I did last week?
Yeah.
And then you go through that again. Like you go through that again when you lose your mum, and it's like you're walking down the street and people are looking at you and it's like, what do you mean? Like I lost my mum last week. Like I'm not okay. I'm not normal. Like this is not a normal life. Like put me back.
Yeah.
And like you have to learn an entire new way to live.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
You're so right. Did your beautiful mum have any advice for you?
Yeah, she definitely told me to just continue living life in the fast lane and to make the most and to keep being iconic Sezzy, as she would call me. And I think just the way she loved us, the way she loved Dad, the way she loved everyone that came into her world was something that now I sit here and I'm like, I'm so grateful to have received love like that and to just, to have been her daughter. I still am, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not many people. I think I'm very fortunate. Both my parents are still here, but the older I get, the more thankful I am for what I was given.
Yeah.
And like, so I can imagine that like getting to sit with that would be so hard because there's this duality of like, I don't want to lose it yet.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like some people never got this for a minute.
Yeah. And, like I think now how grateful I am that we made the most and made so many memories. And, I say like, yes, we lived life in the fast lane for the first, 28 years of my life, but we did it for a reason. And I just always believed like everything happens for a reason, and everything that led up to my big run, the last few months, all of that, like it all prepared us for this and to learn this new life.
And so since your mum's passing and after the run, you were saying it's sort of there's something that's quite not there. Like that sort of hunger for that. Well, I can't describe it because I'm not in your body, but there's something that's not quite there. Do you think that because you've been through something so emotionally raw that it has softened you in a way that you can't access that anymore?
I am the biggest softie now. Like I was like not a crier, like the biggest hard ass. Like my mum would even say, she's like, are you ever going to be emotional? Like, and like even especially in like the last probably 6 months of last year or most of last year, to be honest, like I'm the one that controlled everyone. Like, she, because of her condition as well as everything that was happening, would get so upset so often. And I could sit there and just like not break a tear. I was like so, don't know, on guard, whatever it was.
The rock for everyone?
The rock, yeah. And since, can't get through a day. Like, I just have become the biggest softie, and I think it really has. Physically, I cracked open very early on. I cracked myself open from very young age and I did extreme things. emotionally, this has cracked me open and forced me to sit in places that have been very vulnerable a lot more.
It's a whole different
It's
discomfort.
a whole different, it's a whole different discomfort.
And what a I'm not a psychotherapist, but what a gift from your mum.
Yeah.
Because that is the spectrum of human emotion.
Totally.
And that it is a gift to experience human emotion from that whole spectrum. And she gave you that.
Yeah,
you know?
totally. And I totally think now I've kind of seen it from both sides. Like I've done the physical extreme things and I don't know, but this definitely feels pretty extreme.
Yeah.
From
absolutely.
an emotional perspective as well.
Absolutely. It's quieter. It's
quieter.
in the back.
It sits in the back. It's not as performance.
Yeah.
Like I've been
no one's there cheering for you. It's just you with you.
Yeah, it's at its loudest when you're at your quietest.
At your quietest. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What incredible insight from you. What's next then? Are we going to do something crazy or?
I don't know. We sit here and my mission will continue to forever be to make the most, and part of me making the most is making sure I make as much noise as possible with MSA and with the charity and just trying to change the story for future families' lives. That's always what we've said.
Yep.
I'm not going to see a cure in my lifetime. I'm probably not even going to see massive treatments. But if I can change the story that when families go to the emergency department and they say, is there any medical conditions? And you say, yeah, my mum has or my dad has MSA, and the people at the hospital turn around and say, what's that? That's what I want to change.
Yeah.
I want more people to know what this is, not know how to treat it, but just
awareness.
Yeah.
Sure.
Awareness for sure.
Awareness. And so if somebody from our listener group wanted to look more into this and assist you to raise that awareness and raise their awareness themselves, where's the best place to start?
Yeah, so Multiple System Atrophy Australia is the charity that I closely work with, and we will do something big in the next few months. I haven't said it out loud yet because once I say things out loud, I know they'll happen.
Oh, so there's something brewing.
There's something brewing.
Yeah.
There's something
brewing.
Okay. This time I'm going to do things differently, and I think Mum would have wanted that as well. It was she kind of hinted this to me when I was doing the big run, but this one's going to be a lot more of a community thing.
Awesome.
I want to be able to involve more people. I want to be able to have more people on that journey with me. It won't be as crazy as all those things. Pick your own hard, as I say.
Yeah.
So pick your own hard and come on it with me. Make as much noise and awareness as we
It almost
can.
feels like, so the first one you did was 24 hours. It doesn't leave for 24 hours. It's always there. But also at the same time, it's evolved now to you are as strong as your community around you.
For sure.
So it's really cool to see that evolution of it at the same time.
Yeah, for sure.
And we know two people that are good commentators that have a good media kit, just so you know. Just so you know. Waiting, it'll be really interesting to hear what you've got brewing. Especially that, like Chris said, there's been a real sort of beautiful circular kind of moment. Coming full circle and incorporating things that, your mum taught you as well, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. This was incredible.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
This is the first time I cried on the podcast.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry to make you cry.
No, it was beautiful.
Not sorry, actually.
I loved it. It was beautiful.
I suppose before we completely wrap up, is there any message to anybody or anything you want to kind of say?
Well, I always remind everyone to make the most, as Mum would say, and to just go out and have fun with it. But I also think, as I always say, do the hard. Whatever your hard is.
Yeah, choose your hard.
Do the hard, choose your hard, and keep, chasing the hard.
Yep.
Amazing.
Whatever that is. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you.
That was awesome.
Awesome.
Thanks so much for sharing your story.
Yeah.
That's cool.